Getting back to the gurus. Do you wonder why you follow so many of them? There are so many motivational speakers on so many different platforms telling you how to be successful. You can search for them on Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, on radio, on television, on Amazon. The list is endless. They have books and plans and seminars and conferences all designed to help you do better. I've heard and seen and read my share of their advice. They're great storytellers, they're great speakers and granted, great motivators. For some, their approach works. Many swear by them. But for those who haven't had a life-changing response listening to them, why keep chasing them? Perhaps they motivate you for a little while, but without going back to them over and over, you don't follow through. Perhaps something they say resonates with you, but life gets in the way and you lose the impact of what they said, perhaps forgetting altogether what they said. Regularly going back to motivational speakers and writers for a monthly, weekly, or possibly even a daily fix of motivation is probably not the best use of your time and your money, considering how expensive some of these conferences and retreats are. What they say sounds great. And you want to go back to keep hearing it, but at some point you need to move beyond external motivators to internal motivators. If these folks aren't helping you develop your own motivators, ever reliant on their motivational saying or speech of the day, then you're not growing toward achieving your life's purpose. If you're going the motivational speaker-writer route, do it in moderation and develop your own motivators to become less reliant on what others say to motivate you. Why have you read so many of their books? If you've read a lot of motivational books, you're not alone. So have I. I don't remember most of what I've read in them. Mostly stories and anecdotes of others beating the odds, often later in their life, well after most of us would have thrown in the towel, and reaching the pinnacle in something: acting, music, business, athletics. So many stories of so many people with not enough talent, money, or connections achieving big dreams. The fact that others beat the odds is heartwarming but doesn't get you very far when you are trying to do the same. You want all these books summarized in a sentence? Others did it. Others who had less than you, and therefore you can do it too. You're not interested in the fact that others made it with less. You're interested in how they did. Invariably, they had a plan and pursued it wholeheartedly to achieve their goals. If you want to read motivational books, read books by other lawyers who made it to the top of their profession and explain how they did it. If you want to be a novelist, read how-to books by successful novelists. If you want to lead an organization, read books by CEOs and coaches and religious leaders who have led companies, teams, and houses of worship and read how they did it. If you love reading about the underdog, read about underdogs who pursued the same dreams you want to pursue and focus on their plan and their actions on achieving what they achieved. No one can tell you who you are other than you. The problem with chasing gurus is that only you know who you are. Only you can figure out what your purpose is. Only you can identify your talents and develop them. Only you can identify your passions and use them to motivate you. Only you know what will get you out of bed earlier, or get you to turn off the television or stop procrastinating. The purpose of this book is to have you reflect on you. Study you. Investigate you. The journaling aids you in figuring out what you should be doing with your life, because only you can figure that out. You can get thoughts and advice from others, including family and friends, but at the end of the day it's up to you to decide who you are and where you need to go and what you need to do to get there. Maybe you have issues to work out. If so, get help. Maybe you have addictions you struggle with. If so, get help. Maybe there are obstacles or challenges you need to tackle. If so, get help and tackle them. You need to work on you and you need to figure you out and you need to do the work to get from A to B, to get from where you are to where you want to be. Gurus can't help you with all this. That's on you. It's a journey you need to take. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You need to do this. Only you can figure out your dreams, passions, and talents. As you work your way through the exercises in this book, where you analyze your dreams, passions, and talents and write them down and reflect upon them, you realize that only you can figure out your role as a lawyer, as a spouse, as a parent, as a friend, and as a colleague. Only you can come to understand what you should do with your life and what tools and motivators you have to make it happen. Self-discovery begins with you, asking yourself a lot of personal questions, requiring honesty and self-critical analysis. Maybe you don't have the skill set you believe you have. Maybe you're not passionate about the work you're doing and likely never will be. Maybe what you're destined to do requires risks you don't want to take. Perhaps you're afraid others will mock your dreams. The path we should take is not an easy one. It involves hard work, sacrifices, risks and temporary failures. You may figure out what you should be doing and decide it's not worth doing. You may come to terms with your purpose and choose not to pursue it. These are decisions each of us has to make for ourselves, and only each of us can figure out the road we should follow and decide whether the sacrifices that come with it are worth it. We are all meant to do big things. It's up to each of us to discover what those big things are and commit to pursue them, or choose not to. There are consequences to not pursuing our purpose, never fulfilling our potential, but you don't need me to tell you that. Only you can plot a course to fulfill your dreams. Once you know where you have to go in life, you have to plot a course to get there. You can ask others for advice, you can read how others achieved similar dreams, you can seek all the input you want, but ultimately you get to decide how you're going to chase your dreams. You know you. If you're honest with yourself, you know what you can do, how to do it, and how to motivate yourself to do it. Each of us is unique. We each have had our set of successes and failures, joys and tragedies, accomplishments and missed opportunities, goals and dreams. There are billions of people on this earth, but there is only one you. Your road is different from everyone else's. Where you're going and what you're supposed to accomplish is different from everyone else. Only you are meant to live your dreams and fulfill your purpose. Only you can plot a course to get there. No one can tell you what to do with your life. No one has a right to. It's yours. Figure out what you should do with it and do it. We need motivation to do the things we don't want to do. Each of us has things we prefer not to do, and we need motivation to do them. Some of us don't enjoy exercising. We haven't done it in a while or don't do it regularly. We seek out workout partners, group classes and trainers to encourage and motivate us. Each of us has tasks or projects we would rather not do. If you're at a law firm or legal department where they're making the most of your talents and you're practicing in an area that you enjoy and find rewarding, you don't need motivation to go to work, roll up your sleeves and tackle the tasks at hand. If this isn't your experience, then you need to explore what aspects of your job motivate you and spend more time focusing on those aspects. Maybe there are cases you're currently not handling that you would enjoy working on. Maybe a different practice group in the firm would be a better fit for both you and your firm. We do what we enjoy. We avoid what we don't. We don't need others to encourage us to do what we want. We need them to encourage us when we're at the wrong job or handling the wrong cases. I understand with the present economy and the legal market being what it is, sometimes we have to take jobs we would rather not take to pay students' loans and our other bills. But you must always be focused on seeking out work that aligns with your skills or passions. If you do, you won't need much, if any, external motivators. No one needs to tell us to do what we enjoy. The flip side of needing motivation to do the things we prefer not to, is that we rarely need motivation to do the things we want to do. No one needs to tell us, go read that new bestseller you've been waiting to be released, or go write that article on that topic you love. The more motivation we need to do something, the less likely it is aligned with our talents, passions, and dreams. The less motivation we need, the more likely it is aligned with them. Seek out what you truly enjoy and you'll find less of a need, if any, to keep following motivators. At your job, chase the cases for which you have an aptitude and positive attitude. At your job, position yourself to work with the partners and practice groups who handle matters that highlight your talents and that you would enjoy tackling. It takes a lot of energy to make yourself do something you don't want to do. Why not direct that energy toward doing something you enjoy? The more you can direct your time, resources, and efforts to doing what you love, the less external motivators you'll need. The motivation will bubble up inside you like a wellspring. No one needs to light a fire under us to chase our dreams. We naturally want to chase our dreams and make them a reality. I think what stops most of us from doing so isn't a lack of motivation but a lack of knowledge of how to do so. We hear that some dreamers don't have the work ethic and don't want to make the sacrifices to make their dreams a reality. That's true for some, but for many it's not a lack of will but a lack of understanding how to transform their dreams into reality. Dreams have to be reduced to goals and a plan must be developed to fulfill those goals. This process is foreign to many and because it is, many dreams remain just that, dreams. Motivation isn't the issue. Planning is the issue. If folks are given the tools to pursue their dreams, many will do so. Yes, some, even if given the tools to chase their dreams, won't. But for most of us, motivation isn't what is keeping us from chasing out dreams. Target your dreams, and motivation will follow. Target someone else's dreams, someone else's life, and you'll never get your fill of external motivation. If you're chasing the gurus, you're seeking their help for the wrong things. If you're chasing gurus, ask yourself, why? Is it for motivation? Do you need someone to kick your proverbial rear end to do something? Is it because you don't really want to do that something and need someone to push and cajole you into doing it? If you need someone to make you do something you don't want to do, should you really pursue it? Let's put exercise and dieting aside, because granted, many of us hate to do both and simply because we hate it doesn't mean we should avoid doing them. We all need to get exercise and eat well, and I'll be the first to admit these things aren't easy to do, and motivation helps to do them. But let's move beyond maintaining our personal health and the obstacles to doing so. Let's talk about the dreams we want to accomplish. Having a healthy lifestyle is something we should all do, and unless you're training for a marathon or Mr. Universe, it's not a dream you're pursuing. For chasing and fulfilling our purpose, we don't need gurus to cheer us on. If you need them to help you keep in shape, I get it. But you likely don't need them to encourage you to chase your goals for your career, family, and community. If you want to follow them, see what they say about defining goals, devising a plan to pursue them and implementing the plan. This process is something we can all use help with, and to the extent the gurus can help you with it, then yes, do chase them. Make sure you're seeking their help with the things you really need help with and not motivation for chasing someone else's dreams. Start with your purpose and motivation will follow. For those who focus on the wrong goals for themselves, motivation does not come easy. They are chasing a dream that is not theirs and need someone else's motivation to help them achieve it. There are many who actually achieve greatness but achieve someone else's greatness and are left to wonder how they got there. For those keeping up with the Joneses, for those chasing a shadow of the American dream heavy on accumulation and light on giving, those goals can be achieved but the destination is not what was meant for them. But for those of us who start with our purpose, start by taking the time to reflect upon why we are here and what we are meant to do with the large and small moments of our life, crystallizing for ourselves what a life well lived looks like for us, the motivation soon follows. Discover your purpose and unleash your motivation. Embrace your purpose and you will find the time, energy, and resources to pursue it. Many of us chase after motivation first. Identify your purpose first and you won't have to seek out motivation. Lack of motivation is a strong indicator that you're chasing someone else's dreams. Are there any goals you're working towards now and have little if any motivation to pursue? Again, putting aside health-related goals which we should all pursue and for which many of us lack motivation, are there career or life goals that you set for yourself and you've struggled to pursue them, struggled to find the energy or time or effort? Let's say you have a plan to become the go-to lawyer in a niche practice area. You start strong but your interest soon fizzles out. You need to ask yourself whether you really thought through pursuing this practice area. Did you pursue it because you were excited about becoming an expert in that area, or did you do it because others were doing it? It was the new hot area, and why not jump on the train? And of course, from everything you've read and heard, it's so lucrative. So why not pursue it? There are attorneys who are a good fit for that practice area, but you may not be one of them, not because you're not smart or hardworking, but because you simply can't get excited about it. There are some attorneys meant to do insurance coverage. That may not include you. There are some attorneys meant to defend product liability cases. That may not be you. If you're pursuing a practice area for the wrong reasons, for reasons that have little or nothing to do with your talents and passions, you're probably not going to succeed, and even if you do, you're not likely to derive much pleasure from succeeding. If you need regular motivation to chase your dreams, you may be chasing someone else's. Let your passions motivate you. Study your list of passions. They are motivators. They will get you off your butt, they will help you focus, and they will be the engine that drives you. Do you love being a mentor? You can mentor other lawyers or law students and use your passion not only to help them but to build your brand as someone who understands the practice of law and can teach others about it, and in doing so, is well suited to represent clients, who knows how to serve their needs. You love being the center of attention, love having the spotlight on you, but you don't get to try many, if any, cases with fewer and fewer trials. That's true for most litigators these days, where you get to shine and be in the middle of it all. How about public speaking? More to the point, speaking on issues relevant to your practice area, where other attorneys who can refer you cases can listen to you and see for themselves that you're a go-to lawyer who can handle their matters. Passions can open our eyes to opportunities that others don't see. You love writing science fiction. How can you direct that passion in your legal practice? Where the practice of law is going and what it will look like a few years from now, even a few months from now, sounds a lot like sci-fi. What if you blogged about existing and coming legal trends and interspersed science fiction vignettes into your discussion about the evolution of the practice and how companies and firms can prepare for it and better use existing and upcoming technology? You can exploit your passion for writing science fiction where storytelling and the future of the practice intersect. There's even a name for such folks. They're called legal futurists, and they're in high demand both for speaking engagements where you can meet and develop relationships with referral sources and for writing. And if this example seems too far-fetched, let me tell you that I love writing science fiction and had some of my short stories published in legal publications, and one of my future projects is a book about where science fiction and the law have and will intersect. Play to your passions and let them motivate you. Let your dreams motivate you. Just as you should let your passions motivate you, let your dreams motivate you. Go through your list of dreams you jotted down and how they've evolved since you were a child. What dreams are you still hanging on to, and which ones had you forgotten about or ignored and want to revive? Doing something big, creating something of your own, starting over, making a splash, that's exciting. Those sort of things keep your mind moving and your heart pumping. You don't need coffee to pursue your dreams, the adrenaline is built into them. Think about how excited you get thinking or talking about them, planning to achieve them, working toward them. If you identify your dreams, and you are certain they are yours and not someone else's, and that by pursuing them you're pursuing your purpose, then you won't need external motivators to chase them down. Dreams are inherently inspirational. Draw your inspiration and motivation from them. The values of a self-motivator. Once you know the goals you're aiming for, because you've sat down with your journal and jotted everything down and thought everything through, you'll be motivated to achieve them. When it comes to self-motivation, keep the following values at the forefront of your mind and everything you do. You're autonomous. You prefer to make your own plans and pursue them on your own terms. You're your own motivator. You're creative. You're focused on accomplishing the goals you set out for yourself, so when one door closes you look for the nearest window. You believe in hard work. You understand identifying your goals and planning to achieve them is only the start. Executing that plan is hard work and you're up for it. You don't accept no as an answer. You have an idea, you pitch it, you get turned down, and you ask again. Or you ask others. Or you tweak your ask. Failure is not an option. You have character and integrity. You understand there are rules, you play within the confines of those rules, and you make your living within those confines. And of course, you're responsible. You're responsible for yourself, your job, and your family. You don't blame others or situations when things go awry. You don't blame others for your failures, and you don't put your success in others' hands. You don't need someone else to tell you what to do, what to think, or what to pursue. You're responsible for your own life and you direct it where it should go. This is what it takes, and these are the values that will sustain you. Hold on to them. You will need them. The paradigm of a self-motivator. How you see the world affects how you interact with it. If your paradigm is that you need others to motivate you, then you're dependent on them. You can't accomplish anything without them. If you need direction or advice, you're looking toward them. But what if you shifted your paradigm from looking toward others to looking at yourself? What do you want? What are your plans to get it? What do you have to do to get from A to B? Self-motivation is taking responsibility for fulfilling your purpose in life. You have a purpose, it's big and important and will help others, and it's up to you to define it, plan to achieve it and pursue it. That's on you. You need motivation? Draw it from that. Draw it from pursuing your purpose, because both the journey and destination will provide you joy and fulfillment. Where others see the mountain and refrain from climbing, you assume the challenge. You understand that it involves time and sacrifice, obstacles and setbacks, and that there will be failures along the way. And you understand that each of us was meant for greatness, and that you don't pick your destiny but that it's already picked you, waiting on you to figure that out and pursue it. Most folks don't believe they have a destiny. You do, and you know it's waiting for you. That's the paradigm of a self-motivator.